Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the X-Sums files. And this is a puzzle by Jeremy Dover called Fair to Middlin. And this puzzle is, this is a puzzle where the testers actually, puzzle has a bit of a story. Now, I originally tried to solve this puzzle. There was a version 1 of this puzzle. And it was solved by a couple of people and failed by a couple of people, and then Jeremy made a very slight alteration to the grid, and this was months ago, and I don't even know what the slight alteration was, but apparently, and then this new version has been tested and has been apparently called much smoother, but still quite tricky, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. But I did try and solve this one many months ago, and I don't remember anything about it because this is my brain. It's probably all of those alien abductions. So of course there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, as well as to where you can download the entire pack. But let's have a look at Fair to Middlin by Jeremy Dover. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have X-sums, so a number outside the grid gives the sum of the first n digits in that row or column, where n is the digit in the cell closest to the given clue. So, for example, if this is a 3, those 3 cells sum to 19. If this is a 4, those 4 cells sum to 19. If this is a 5, those 5 cells sum to 19. Similarly over here, if this is a 3, those 3 cells sum to 13. If this is a 4, then those 4 cells sum to 13. That's the way all of these work. And then quadruples. Digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So these 4 cells must contain a 4, a 5, an 8, and a 9. These 4 cells must contain a 4 and a 5. That's all we've got. No given digits. This grid looks incredibly Spartan. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, of course, the way to start any X-sums puzzle pretty much is to look at what can these digits be. Now, you can't do 19 in 2 cells because the next one would need to be a 17. You could do 19 in 3, because if this is a 3, those 2 digits would need to sum to 16. You could do 4, you could do 5. You can't do 6 because the minimum 6 digits could sum to is 1 through 6, and this would have to be at least 21. So anything under 21 has a maximum of 5. Similarly, anything under 15 has a maximum of 4. Anything under 9 has a maximum of 3. Sorry, anything under 9... I'll get to there when it is not relevant for this puzzle, but So for example, this couldn't be a 6 because you can't do 15 in 6, but this couldn't even be a 5 because the minimum for 5 is 13. So 13 is 3 or 4 because you can't do 13 in 2 because the next digit would need to be 11. But anyway, 20 is the same. It's 3, 4, or 5. These are 3, 4, or 5. 15, you can't do 15 in 2, but you can do it in 3, 4, or 5. Oh, this is not actually giving me much, is it? 25. You can't do 25 in 2. 25 in 3 would mean the next 2 digits would need to sum to 22, but the maximum 2 digits can be is 17. So this is 4, 5, or 6, and it can't be 4 or 5. 7 doesn't work because 7, the minimum 7 is 28. So this must be a 6 because it can't be 4 or 5. That's our first digit in the grid. This 24... well, you can't do it in 3 because 3, 7, 8 is 20. You could do 4, 5, and you can't do 7 because 7, the minimum is 28. And this 28 does allow us to go to 7. You can't do it in 3. 4 does work. 4, 5, 6, or 7. Ooh, this one is terrible. Because 4, 7, 8, 9 could work. 4, 7, 8, 9 is 28. And 7... with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 does work. So that one is completely unrestricted. Fours and 5s in here, because this is 4, 5, 8, 9. So for example, if this was a 4, I'd need to put a 4 in one of those two. If this was a 4, I'd need to put a 4 in one of those two. Does that interact with that anyway? If this is a 4, this couldn't be 7, 8. because then I'd have, if this is a 4, well, these are 3, 4, 7, and 8. If this is a 4, the minimum those could be would be 3 and 7, which is 10, and I've already blown the total. If this is 4, the minimum those could be is 3 is 7, and 4, 3, and 7 is already 14. This is a 3. And it's these 3 digits. So these 2 digits have to sum to 10. So it's 4, 6. I can't do 7, 3. That's not a 7, 8, 2. So that's forced. This is not a 3 anymore. This is, oh, that's a 4, 5 pair. So there's no 4 there. These digits. Okay, those digits need to sum to 20. How do I know these 3 digits need to sum to 20? Because this 6 is saying that those 6 digits sum to 25. But the entire row of a Sudoku contains all of the digits 1 through 9. And if you add the digits 1 through 9, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, all the way up to 9, you end up with 45. So all of those sum to 45, and 45 minus 25 is 20. So those sum to 20. If this is a 4, those have to sum to 16. And the only way to do 16 is 7, 9. If this is 5, these have to be 15. And the only way to do 15 is 7, 8, because I can't use a 6. So this can't be a 7. 7 is in one of those 2. That cell. This can't be a 4. If this was a 4, one of those would need to be a 3. And then I'd have a 19 sum that was 3 something 4. And with the 3 and a 4, those would sum to 7, and the digit in the middle would need to be 12. And it doesn't matter if this is 4, one of those need to be 3, and I'd have to go 3, 12, 4 or 3, 12, 4. That can't be a 4. If this is a 5, one of these would need to be a 3, and they would sum to 8, and then I'd need an 11 in the middle. Neither of those can be a 5. Does the same happen here? Wait a minute. This is now an 8 or a 9. Could either of these be a 5? Because if I put a 5 here, the minimum these could be would be 4 and 8, which is 12. And 5 plus 12 is already 17. Neither of these can be a 5. If this is a 5, the minimum here would be 4, 8. Which is 12. 12 and 5 is 17, and the other 2 digits would need to sum to 1. That can't be a 5. If this was a 5, then the minimum those could be would be 12 plus 5 is 17, and those would need to sum to 2, but the minimum is 3. That can't be a 5. This is a 3-4 pair. So one of these has to be a 4. If this is a 4, those would need to sum to 15. If this is a 4, those need to sum to 15. Hang on, one of these is a 3. So it's 3. If the one that's a 3, I can figure out what those digits are, I think. If this is a 3, those digits would need to sum to 16. Which can't be 8, 8. Right, whichever one is a 3, the next digits need to sum to 16, because 19 minus 3 is 16. So whichever one of these is a 3, I need 16. And I can't do 16 with 8, 8 or 8, 8. So this must be a 9. And there's no 9 in any of those. So it's 3 with then 7 and 9. So one of those is a 7. And the 4 has a 9, which is 13, and then I need 2 digits that sum to 6. which is either 1, well, it can't be 2, 4, because I can't go 4, 4, 2. It'd have to be 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, because the 2 digits would need to sum to 6, because 13, yeah. And how do I do 6 in 2 cells without using a 4? It's 1, 5. So these are 1 and 7. And there must be a 5 in one of those two, because if this is the 4, this is the 5, this is the 4, this is the 5. So there's a 5 in one of those two. There's no 5 there. But if this is the 4, one of those two is the 4. But that's got to break one of these, doesn't it? If this is a 5 now, if this is a 5, the minimum, those would be 4 and 8, which is 12. I'd be at 17. Those would need to be 1 and 2. If this is a can I... There's something strange going on here. If this is 3, those would need to sum to... If this is a 3, those would need to sum to 16. And that's not possible. A 3 here needs these to sum to 16. Well, I can't do 4, 12, 5, 11, or 8, 8. That doesn't work. This can't be a 3. And that's a 4, 5, 8 triple. So these digits, which are included in the 19 sum, 4, 5 is 9 plus 8 is 17. These already sum to 17. I can only add a maximum of 2 more. So this has to be 4, 2, 8, 5, and this must be a 4, which means this isn't a 4. The 4 makes this the 3. 3 and 9 is 12, so that's the 7, that's the 1, that's the 4. Those sum to 19. That is done. Oops. 4 and 2 is 6 plus 5 plus 8, that's 19, that's done. 4 and 1 is 5 plus 5 plus 9 is 19, that's done. Now this one is, this can't be 5 anymore, surely. 5 would mean these need to sum to 15. Yeah, I could. 5 with 1, 2, 4. 3, however, no, it can't be a 3 though. This must be a 5, because if this is a 3, I've got 3 and 4, and that would need to be a 13. This is a 5, and now I've got 9, I've got 17. Those digits need to sum to 3, and they're 1 and 2, and the 1 makes that the 2, and that the 1, and this is now done. Now, this can't be 4 or 5 anymore. This is only 6 or 7. I need to put a 2 in this box, which can only go in the corner. And these, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5, 6, and 8. There's no 5 there. There's no 6 there. So 6 is in one of those two by Sudoku, because the 6 is in one of those two. 5 is in one of those two, which puts 5 over here. That digit... 3 must be down here. 3, where's 3 in this column? 3 in this column. It can't be here, so it's down here. So this isn't the 3, and now the 3 around this quadruple is here. Because 3 is in one of those two. 4 is in one of those two. These sum to 10. I already have that. Now this 3 is included in this sum, as is that digit. If that's a 4, those are 7, and those digits need to sum to 8, so it'd be 7, 1. If this is a 5, These are 1, 2, and 4. So that'd be the 4. These would be a 1 and a 2. The 28 here. So 45 minus 28 is 17. So either those digits sum to 17 or those digits sum to 17. If those two sum to 17, those are 9 and 8, and that's a 7. If those digits sum to 17, then I think I have options. If that's a 5, that's a 4. And we'd have 4, 8, 3. 4, 8, and 3 is 15, and that would need to be a 9. So if that's a 4, we've got 5, 8, 3, 9. We'd have 5. No, if that's a 5, that's a 4. And we're broken. Is that... Hang on, is that right? Yeah, that's right. If this is a 5, this is a 4. This becomes 4, 8, 3, 9. This is the problem. I always get lost when I'm doing this sort of casing in my head. 5 here makes these 1, 2, 3, 4. But it makes this 4, which makes this 8. 4 and 8 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So this is the 9 to get up to 24. So these become 7, 8. And we've got 4, 7, 8 here, which doesn't sum to the 20 we need. 4, 7, 8 is 19. But we know these digits need to sum to 20 because of this clue. So if this is a 5, this is a 4, this is a 9, 4, 7, 8 isn't 20, that's broken. That's the 4, that's the 5. There's no 4 here anymore. But these digits need to sum to 15. We've got 7, so those digits need to sum to 8, and they are 7 and 1. There's no 7 there. This is a 4, 8. But those digits now need to sum to 24. Oh, the 4 here looks across saying that's not the 4, that's the 4. But now these need to sum to 20 with that being a 5. So there's no 9 there. This is 7, 8. And these are known. 2, 6, 9. Now that can't be a 9, can it? Actually, I'm not sure. But hang on. Those digits need to sum to 24. We've already got 8, so those digits need to sum to 16. If that's a 9, we'd need those to sum to... If this is a 9, we'd need those to sum to 7, which isn't possible. 8 is 16, so those digits need to sum to 16. If that's a 9, those would need to sum to 7, which would either need to be 4, 3, which can't be done, or 8 minus 1. That can't be a 9. These need to sum to 16. If that's an 8, this would be a 2, 6 pair. If that's a 4, those need to sum to 12, which can't be, this can't be a 4. If this is a 4, those two digits would need to sum to 12. Either 2, 10 or 6, 6. Doesn't work. So this can't be a 4. This is an 8. This is a 4. This now comes into play. Those sum to 11 to get to 13. That's a 12. That's a 2. There's no 2 there. Those digits do need to sum to 8 now because we've got 11, 16. So this is a 2, 6 pair, and the 2 makes that the 6 and that the 2. Which takes 2 out of there. And this 24 is done, the 15 is done, and the 13 is done. This 26 over 25 over here is also done. Pardon me, because those now have the correct sum because they sum to 20. So the only clue I haven't done is this 28 clue. So either those need to sum to 17, which would be 4, and those summing to 13, which I can't do. Because the only way these could sum to 13 is if these were 6, 7, which those can't be. So this must be a 7 clue, meaning this is an 8. And if this is a 7 clue, those need to sum to 17. So that's 9, that's 7, that's 6. And now this clue is also done. And I've done everything except this quadruple. Uh-oh. 4. Can't be in any of those or there. That's a 4. So these are 1, which is in one of those two, 5, which is right there. So these are actually a triple. 1, 7, and 9. There's no 7, 9 there. That's the 1. And the 7 looks like making that the 9 and that the 7. These are 3 and 6. Don't know how to resolve those. These 1, 2, and 6. And those I know how to resolve. 6 and 2. This triple, 3, 5, 8. There's no 5 there. There's no 3 there. So these are 1, 4, and 9. There's no 4 there. There's no 1 there. There's no 9 there. That's not helping me that much, is it? So in here, I need to put a 2 in one of those two. I've got 3. I've got 4. 5 is in one of those two. This is a 5, 6 pair. I know I've got 6. I need 7 in one of those 3. I need a 9. Any of them. That's not helping me. Okay. 7 is in one of those two. You know what? Yeah. I wonder if the 5 is what was added to this. Oh, I needed the 5 to get the 6, so probably not. Okay, so I need to do some masterful Sudoku here. Well, we know that's not going to happen. The 6 looks across saying that's not the 6, so this is the 6. The 5, 8 now looks across making this the 3, which makes this the 8, and this the 5. The 4 looks across making this the 1, which makes this the 9, and this the 4. Not masterful Sudoku, but it was there. These two digits are 1 and 3. These two digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. The 7 looks like making that the 9 and that the 7. These two digits 6 and 8. So we're 6 in this column. 3, 6 means it's not there, so it's in one of those, but these two 6s knock out those. That's a 6. So these 3 digits are 3, 7, and 9. So that can't, oh, sorry, the 5 is looking down. That's not the 5. That's the 5. And this is 7 or 9 only, because it can't be 3. And these are 3, 7, 9. That one can't be 7. That one can't be 9. Okay. Five is in one of those two now, because 5 in this row can't be here and it can't be here. So 5 is in one of those two, which puts 5 in one of those two, but that 5 says not there. That's a 5. This row, 1, 3, 7, 8. Oh, the 7 makes that the 3, which makes that the 9, which makes that the 7. And these are now 1, 2, 9. And the 9 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 9. Okay, so let's look at these triples. 3, 7, 8. There's no 3 there. There's no 7 there. That means this isn't the 6. This is the 6. So these are 1, 9. Okay. So the 1 in this box, no, let's look at this triple. 1, 7, 8. There's no 7 there. There's no 1 there. Two in this box is in one of those two. So 1, 2, I've got to put a 4 in this box, which is in one of those two. This is a 2, 4 pair. I have to put 2 and 4. I can't put 2 or 4 here, and I can't put 2 or 4 here. That's a 2, 4 pair. So this is 1 or 8. And the 8 makes this the 1, which makes this the 8, which makes that the 7, which makes that the 1. The 8 looks up making that the 6 and that the 8. The 6 makes that the 3 and that the 6. The 3 makes that the 1 and that the 3. And I stop there. Ah, but the 4 makes that the 2 and that the 4. This is now down to a pair, 2 and 3. The 2 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 2. The 3 looks up, making that the 8, making that the 7, making that the 3. This column is missing an 8. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. The 8 looks up, making that the 5 and that the 8. The 5 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 5. The 9 looks up, making that the 1 and that the 9. And that's the solution to this puzzle. I wonder how much of this I actually remembered. I don't remember remembering this puzzle, but that was very, very good. I don't remember remembering this puzzle, but it is possible that the tricks were sort of in my head. That's a very good puzzle. For a minimalist grid, Jeremy Dover is a master at making minimalist grids that work. Really, really good stuff. And I know that if this puzzle was posted to somewhere like Logic Masters Germany, it would get absolutely canned because it's too easy. Anything that's easy is just considered bad over there recently. It's just been terrible. Really good stuff. Love this puzzle. Absolutely wonderful. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you're enjoying the pack. And as always, good luck with your solving.